Hey guys, welcome to the live stream. We're gonna be really consistent on these live streams now. I got Armando in the building. What's up, Okie Pokey? How you guys doing? Hey guys, just let you know, today's the last day for the Sandbox Giveaway. Go on over to my Twitter. Go on over to my Twitter. It's Alex on Crypto. Enter the contest. We're gonna be doing like 2 a week. So there's so many different opportunities to make money, including the giveaways. Go on over to my Twitter, guys. I'm trying to get more popular on Twitter. My mustache smells like Bitcoin, Ethereum, erratics. Smells like a lot of altcoins. Hey guys, can you do me a favor? Like the video. We're gonna talk about some interesting topics today. Sandbox just released their main metaverse. Some crazy adoption news, and I see a trend happening right now. So yeah, do me a favor, like the video. It's gonna be great. Some great content today. How do we come up with this much content? I know. Do me a favor, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. We're starting very soon. It's going to be a great time. It is a great time in the cryptocurrency world. So many people coming to Miami. I had a great time at the NFT Basel or Basel or Bezia or whatever you want to call it. But that was a great time. Cryptocurrency is getting a lot of adoption, guys. Pay attention. Guys, I'm tired of all these people, controlling things. I don't know about you guys, but, we're watching CEOs that work for controlled entities like Jack Dorsey, Elon Musk making moves. People that work for these centralized places, they're quitting. They're leaving. And I think it's for a good reason. I think it's because the smartest minds on planet Earth right now are moving towards the innovation. We are in the innovation. Decentralization is what we need as a human species to grow. So definitely like the video. Let's try to get to as many people as possible. Spread the good word of blockchain. And this is not a church, but I'm telling you right now, we're all going to make money.
Preach.
Preach. All right, guys. Thank you.
Yo, what's up, guys? Marty is in the house. I have a very, very important question for you guys. If you guys are ADA hodlers, drop a 1 in the chat. I got something, got some juicy for you guys later on. So drop a 1 in the chat. I want to know.
Hey guys, world is changing. Things are happening. It's moving very fast. Information is coming very fast. Obviously, just like this YouTube channel, we've been beefing up the amount of videos. If you haven't seen, we got Armando, Marty, getting more active. Our company is getting really big. You're going to be able to see the back behind the scenes of a company going from a 7-figure to 8-figure company. So do me a favor, like the video, share it with a friend. Let's try to get as many people in here as possible. Spread the good word of blockchain technology, decentralization. I'm tired of these people that had the strategic stronghold since they were little kids. Their fathers gave them their wealth. I'm tired of them controlling every variable of how humans live. And I do want the efficiency of blockchain technology to fix the money so we can go into a new golden era and change, what's really going to happen in the future. So, I think blockchain technology is where it's going to be. And I know you're here for a reason. I know everybody in the chat, dropping the ones that's in the ADA, right? Talking about Ethereum. You guys are here for a reason. You're meant to be in cryptocurrency. So let's try to spread, again, the good word. Let's get as many people in here as possible. Do me a favor. Just take 2 seconds and hit that thumbs up button. We're about to start the live stream. It's going to get really fun in here today on this beautiful Wednesday in Miami, Florida. Let's get the mayor on here. Let's try to talk to as many people as possible. Thank you, guys.
Thank you all for joining us. It is a beautiful day in sunny South Florida. How y'all doing today? How you doing, Marty?
Dude, I'm doing good, man. I am doing good. Gaming, metaverse, NFTs, play to earn, everything is just taking off right now. Like I said, I have something kind of juicy for you guys for ADA, more or less. I guess it depends on your sense of humor. So I guess we'll find out very shortly here. But yeah, guys, thanks for joining the live stream. Again, make sure to drop a like, a follow, subscription, share the video, share the live stream. Get your parents in here, your grandparents, your dog. All right, let's get them some NFTs. Let's get them some coins. And let's just dive right into it, Armando. What do you got for us?
Well, guys, I did just want to mention yesterday was an amazing time. If you didn't know, me, Alex, and a couple people in the office, we went out to the NFT Basel. And it was a great time. Marty was also there. We got a lot of good content coming up for y'all. So I hope you guys are excited for that. We met some really interesting people. We went networking. We learned about NFTs.
Oh yeah, we actually learned that Nansen, they're kind of going down like the NFT route.
Yeah, guys. Sneak peek. Nansen did have a booth at the NFT Basel, and we got to ask them some questions, and we kind of found out that they're going to be adding NFT support to their entire website. So that's pretty interesting. But yeah, let's flow right on into it, right?
Exactly.
Alex is here. Just
guys, give me a second. I'm gonna hop in a second.
The table's not big enough for all three of us, unfortunately. Too many big bodies and big brains and knowledge coming in here. But Eddie, if you want to usher in the iPad in here, the fancy name.
We got you.
You guys know that every time I come up in here, I try to talk to you guys about the metaverse and gaming. And again, it just looks like that. Again, the metaverse is going to be the industry niche ecosystem to kind of finish out this big final rally here in crypto. Grayscale making this basically massive prediction that the metaverse and everything could be about $1 trillion marketplace itself, right? And it was actually pretty interesting in here. If we take a look, basically last year with play to earn, a lot of these players and all these games, they paid out up to almost $200 billion in play to earn earnings. Like, that is insane. And then they're projecting that to be pretty much double in 5 years, right? So it's just kind of, guys, again, showing you the power of the metaverse and really why a lot of people are starting to move into this sector? Because why would you not want to make money from playing a game?
Yeah, guys. If you think about it, I was reading about this earlier. In the Philippines, a lot of people are actually making their living off playing these games, especially with Axie Infinity.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's literally they make more money playing Axie Infinity than they do at a regular job, which is just the future, more use cases. And honestly, you're gonna see more games pop up like this. Sands and Mana are kind of like right behind Axie Infinity, where they're gonna be adding support. I'm going to be going over Sand in a bit just because they did finally launch their alpha, which is some pretty big news. We mentioned that in a couple live streams ago, and Alex did a video on it as well. And we were pretty much waiting for Sand to go live on their alpha, and they said sometime Q4. And yesterday it finally went live, so pretty big news.
Yeah, I actually didn't look into the whole Sand alpha, but obviously I'm assuming maybe nothing major came out, just kind of consolidating. But also with a lot of these like gaming token or just gaming in general right now, especially in the metaverse, you'd be surprised at how kind of bare bones a game can be when it launches, just because it's so new that it doesn't have to be super impressive for it to cause a lot of hype and a lot of price action. So that's why it's still a really good time to get in, because you guys could find a game that's per se mediocre at best, nothing like a AAA like your Call of Duties and Battlefields and Halos and stuff like that, and do some pretty good games. But eventually, what you guys want to also start looking at are already like those AAA type of investments right now, so that then whether it's 6 months from now, a year from now, these things are going to be worth hundreds of dollars, if not thousands, maybe like an Illuvium. But you got in when this thing was under $10 potentially. Yeah,
guys, this technology is still ever evolving. I mean, if you look at it, the graphics are still kind of bare bones, pretty much like blocky, very similar to like Minecraft. It's going to evolve. It's going to get better. And as that technology evolves, more people are going to be adopting it and going to be using it. Growth here is just unlimited, to be honest.
What do you got for us there? I saw you had something with South America there, right? With blockchain.com?
Yes. We have a couple crypto exchanges making some headline news. Kind of what you saw in the thumbnail, right, guys? So crypto.com made a pretty massive gamble.
Yeah, huge.
And if you go over here to my tablet, Eddie, I'll kind of go over it. So crypto.com acquired 2 different exchanges, and that sale pretty much is planned to go through sometime in the first half of 2022. It's a North American derivative exchange, also called NADEX. As we know, they offer derivative products and a platform called a small exchange, a future exchange, which is aimed at retail customers. This is obviously a pretty big deal. They're expanding their efforts to try and compete with FTX, with Coinbase. And crypto.com, is putting their money where their mouth is, right? So they obviously made a pretty big jump when they bought the Staples Arena and renamed it to crypto.com. And now they're continuing their efforts to, expand into the crypto world with kind of like the saturated markets with all the different exchanges, and pretty much trying to say they're the best. And this is their gamble. And that kind of coincides with FTX, right, guys? So FTX is also doing things. They just added support for Ethereum NFTs. If you didn't know, FTX is one of the only exchanges that already allowed for for NFTs from the Sol chain, pretty much. They had the Solana NFT marketplace, and now they're finally adding support for Ethereum. They did mention it a couple weeks ago that once they launched the Solana chain or the Solana NFT network, that they weren't too far behind in developing the Ethereum chain. And it's very nice to see that they kept up with their promise, right? So it says it right here, NFTs would only be a matter of weeks away or for the Ethereum chain. And as we see today, they finally launched it. We went over it. The support or the standard is the ERC 721 token. So you're going to be seeing very famous crypto sets like the Bored Ape Yacht Club, CryptoPunks going to be able to pretty much be exchanged on these exchanges.
Yeah, and then we, speaking of Bored Ape Yacht Club, when we were at the convention or the event yesterday, what was that guy's name, Alex, the TikToker? He's like 54 million followers. But he bought like 2 Bored Apes. They're like over $500,000, and he actually stitched them onto his pants. So he has like the real NFT, and then he actually, in a way, hypothetically, wears $500,000 pants.
$500,000 pants.
Pretty cool, right? I don't know any designers that are even making pants worth that much. So
it was, I saw that, and I was just going crazy because I was just like, wow, this is just walking around with $500,000. That was. But
again, just kind of shows you the power of NFTs and the artistic value that these artists see in NFTs and why they're flocking to it.
Definitely
and then,
a standout piece.
Yeah, and then like I was saying, guys, I do have something juicy for you for Ada, Eddie, but I actually saw somebody in the chat said that they sold some of their ADA for Matic recently. Interesting. I mean, Matic definitely having a massive run up here. However, guys, we're about to potentially see some huge gains here. You know, that blow off top that everybody's been talking about, I think we're about to really enter it here, because I know a lot of us were, you know, expecting November to be quite a parabolic month. You know, everyone's like, oh, 75, 80K Bitcoin. Obviously didn't have
Moonvember, but
yeah, Moonvember, whatever, you know, kind of was looking like it at the beginning, and then, you know, news came out, Corona, this and that, inflation, kind of basically, you know, hindered it a little bit, but more of like a distribution phase, people taking profits and all these other alts and stuff. And I think now the market is pretty much primed to, like I said, see that blow off top that we're talking about. E30 was starting to break out today. I think Bitcoin, what do we get back up to, like almost, I think 58, right? 57, 58, maybe even 60. What are we at? 57 right now.
Playing around the 58 level.
So yeah, I think, you know, it definitely is just pack those bags. But Eddie, if you want to show the iPad here really quickly. So basically all I was going to you know, talk about for ADA here, guys. Pretty big support here, okay? You know, that $1.60, $1.50 range, I guess you could, you know, even say that we could potentially, you know, come down to somewhere even around here, right, for accumulation for ADA. But again, finding some pretty big support here, and really what we're getting excited about here with ADA is something like this here, guys, okay? Where is my ruler here? You can't find my ruler anymore. There it is, measure. This was kind of back, you know, in July when the whole market had that, you know, massive final correction, and then from there, you know, ADA had that smart contracts and all that come out and did about a 200% rally, right? And one of our coaches, Will, actually found that ADA tends to do something along these lines, where, you know, has a massive run up, then a massive, you know, sell off, people taking profits, and it just kind of follows that theme. So let's just say for guessing purposes, and ADA kind of does something similar to from what it did to July. Right, let's say it just did at least a 200% gain. Oh man, my ruler does not want to work. Maybe ADA's going to be doing too much of gains here. Got it a little low there, but let's say around here, that could put ADA kind of back at that $3.50, $4 range. So it's a good time to get into some ADA as well. I know Alex Becker likes to bag on ADA hodlers and stuff like that. I'm not going to lie, I do get some humor from it. But I am going to be picking up some ADA at around this $1.60 and even down to the $1.50 range. And then, you know, maybe we'll see that inevitable $10 ADA like everyone's predicting into the bull run.
Yeah, guys, I also picked up some ADA at around the 142 mark, when it kind of started, hit kind of like the floor at 142 and then kind of started steadily coming back up. So I also picked up a bag. It's a smart investment, guys. Obviously, ADA is not going anywhere. It's one of the biggest competitors in terms of you know, layer ones. So it's just, obviously we're not telling you what to do, but we're just telling you what we did. We see the potential in ADA and where it could possibly be going.
Exactly. It's never financial advice, guys, but you know, history does tend to rhyme, right? Kind of like how Alex likes to sneak in the back all the time, man.
This guy's so tall.
I know, man. You gotta get some heels or something. Get some platforms.
All right, I gotta chime in on ADA really quickly. So yeah, basically I've been getting bullish. You guys heard my last video. In general, right? So I don't have, it's like less than 0.01% of my portfolio right now, but after watching what Will was saying, and after they try to stunt the growth with the exchange listing, and people are pretty much like attacking it aggressively for no reason, I started getting a little bit bullish. You guys saw my video. I mean, I called I get it. I do the clickbait. I understand. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Okay.
Not perfect. Okay.
I said coin, but it wasn't clickbait. I basically said Cardano's getting, someone's trying to cancel Cardano. And it's true. Like I said in the intro, someone was trying to like attack it. It wasn't necessarily meaning that I was against it. I was just putting specifically, you know, the facts at hand. And somebody was trying to take it down, which made me bullish. So yeah, ADA looks actually pretty interesting right now from, you know, smart contract perspective. Remember the dates that we talked about before, if you've been watching my Cardano videos, was Q1 of 2022. That's around the corner. So right now, maybe there's some other altcoin plays we can find that have like short term, but like, you know, at the end of the day, it's all about the long-term outlook and how much money you can make over a long period of time. And Cardano still is probably relatively undervalued in comparison to other blockchains. But yeah, if you guys could do me a favor really quickly, like the video. Let's not be unbiased. All right, it's all math and numbers on a computer screen. At the end of the day, do you want to make more money, or you want to keep, you know, just feeling
hold
emotional?
on to your opinions?
Yeah, it's not about opinions, man. At the end of the day, it's facts.
Numbers don't care.
Yeah. So, yeah, we got some on-chain metrics coming in here. We have all different types of content. To be honest, I have content on my tablet, and maybe their content's better because it took me a little bit. But yeah, I mean, I made the title. So for the crypto.com thing that's happening, you see they're acquiring companies, and you could talk about the specific like companies all day. Like I don't even have my tablet. I forgot exactly what they acquired. 2 exchanges, right?
Yeah, they're
so they bought 2 exchanges, right? So it's not really about like what exchange they're buying and what they're trying to do. Maybe if I owned an exchange, I would be interested on the specific strategy. But from an actual investment standpoint, do you think they're stupid enough to cough up that type of money? Yeah, I mean, look at the ads that they've been running. Their video alone probably cost $100,000. I mean, these guys are still with their money right now investing heavily into other cryptocurrency counterparties. And I mean, you could look at somebody buying Bitcoin as a bullish signal, and you could look at somebody buying companies to integrate their crypto platforms as a signal. I feel like it's underappreciated, and people really don't hit home on the fact that if a business's strategic strategy is to buy exchanges, what do you think is going to happen after that? Once they buy the exchanges, get the user data, they get everything that comes with that. Maybe they're trying to integrate into another spot Bitcoin ETF, trying to integrate themselves into the financial system. Think about that. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound as pretty as Michael Saylor bought 300 million. It doesn't sound that pretty.
We're not all Michael Saylor, unfortunately. We don't have hundreds of millions of dollars lying around and saying we can memorize our and then saying Bitcoin is to the economy what blood is to the brain. Okay, like it's like Michael. Like, can we just maybe explain it in a
we
much
got to bring
more,
it down a little bit.
Bring it down
okay?
a little
We got to
bit,
bring it down.
right?
There's some people out there that don't know what this means. Okay, they don't even know what money means.
Yeah,
So
that Chris Tucker interview was definitely funny. I think I got more humor like from watching him explain what Bitcoin is than actually the concept of what he's trying to deliver. But yeah. And then also for crypto.com, I mean, guys, how do they still not have a desktop exchange?
They don't have
a platform. Like, come on, like let's before we buy a platform, can we just like get like a desktop exchange, like something where we don't have to use an app anymore?
Well,
like
they're attacking mobile users, which is the biggest audience group by far. So
it's also one of the fastest growing audience groups.
Yeah, but personally, I mean, just piggybacking off with Marty's saying, I believe if you're trading, man, get off a phone.
Yeah, like you have to get on the computers for security purposes. It also just makes things a lot more easier.
It's more professional. I mean, how serious are you when you get like 16 notifications on your phone, right? So like it's probably you want to take your time with your investments and going on a desktop or maybe a tablet is what I've been using recently. It's like a dedicated device for your crypto trading. This is really important. I mean, we can dive really deep and talk about security of computers and stuff like that. But that's for like, you know, that's too complex stuff. If you want to talk about that, we have a security part and FS and stuff like that. We had a lot of new members too. Joining. I mean, didn't Will just
guys? Yeah. Eddie,
Will's in the chat right now. If you guys want to see a call, like Will.
Will literally called KOL collect.
Yeah,
I got it right here.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I didn't
which
get
screen
into
am I going
this.
to?
Let's go to
Armando's. Here we go.
So right here, he called it 4x since last night. Will is a man. He's actually in the chat right now. What is it? Will's Outlook. Go follow Will's Outlook on YouTube. He has a YouTube channel too that he gives away free information. But if you want to get him personally, he is one of the coaches at FS. So we get great calls from me, of course. I try. I mean, I can't keep up with them at this point. But these guys are calling, 30Xs, 40Xs called Gala. We got these calls right here, which is, if you look at it, look at the timing, right? Today at 12:33 p.m. So, like, you got to think about, how quick that was, right? You made a large amount of capital in a short period of time. What does that mean? Well, a lot of people have probably paid off their discount, right, Will? Yeah, he's in the chat. They got it on discount, and then they probably paid it off a little bit, right? So, yeah, having a team behind you, if it could benefit me, I mean, it could benefit you, right? And I think that's like something people don't talk about because they pushed it out, like I said in other last year, they pushed it out like it's a joke, like you can find this information free. No, actually you can't. I pay Will. I pay him, okay? You can't find it for free.
And it's timely. Like, I mean, who's gonna for also Will's like on the West Coast, so this is for him like 4 a.m.
He's 4 a.m. working. He's
the guy's finding plays at 4 a.m, right? Giving them to you guys, and then same day doing, 2, 3, 4x multiples. You're not gonna get that on YouTube. Simple as that.
Well, you might get it on YouTube, but you might get it a little bit late on YouTube.
You'll get on the way down.
Yeah, I'll get it on the way down.
You'll get on the way down.
No, but in general, guys, like we're doing a lot to the channel. So if you notice, we're pumping out more content because what we're trying to do is we're trying to get like this information as quick as possible to you. So yeah, you will get valuable coin calls. A lot of you have already made money off Phantom and some of the coin calls we've been talking about for a while. I mean, we talked about Gala. It pumped up 100%. A lot of people were freaking out about that. So yes, you can get it for free. Nobody's trying to like force anything on anybody. But I will say, in general, take your stuff serious. Go on a laptop or a tablet, not your phone. Try to treat it like an actual strategy. I know it feels good with all the, meme dogs and food coins and stuff like that. And it feels like Candyland, but they will take advantage of you and destroy your portfolio because their only goal is to make percentage gains. And if they make money, somebody has to lose money. So yeah, you need a team to help you not lose money, right? And that's what we stand for, and that was my mission when first creating this channel. Now I'm watching Crypto.com make commercials with, what's that guy's name? Mark Wahlberg, and and I see the adoption happening, and this is the best time, right, to be aware of what you're doing because there's just so many characters now. It's so much more competitive than it. Yeah, Matt
Damon. Matt, Mark.
We watch crypto charts. You guys asked about an altcoin, probably not an actor. I'm not a. Okay, yeah. Hey, come tell them on-chain metrics. I'm gonna come towards the end of the live stream. I have some news I want to talk about and stuff like that. But these guys over here waiting at and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys also saw. Johnny's gonna pop in. He loves his.
Not even that. Real quick, Marty. I mean, you see what Will's talking about in the chat right now. This is the stuff you get on the live stream. I mean.
Yeah. I cannot
make sure you come up to the live stream so you can get this insider information.
For those FS members in here, go to these live streams, okay?
I'm up here with Martiner.
But before Johnny here deep dives into Glassnodes, right? I don't know if you guys saw the kind of the updates from Mr. J. Powell, right? Jerome Powell, basically saying we need to get rid of the word transitory in inflation.
Transitory.
It's no longer transitory. Sorry. Transitionary. I don't know.
Potato, tomato.
Basically,
tomato.
They know, dang, we're messing things up bad here, and especially now with news coming out with that new variant, then probably going to be an excuse for them to pump out more stimulus.
What you got on that screen share, Marty? You got anything?
Johnny's going to be the one with the screen share. I'm just kind of talking about, like I said, very very macro stuff. We like macro stuff here on
big macro guys.
Macro guys. But yeah, inflation does not look like it's going to be stopping. So again, we've always said it. We think it's way worse than 6%, probably in the 20 to 30%. Dollar Tree kind of showing signs of that, increasing prices. But
yeah, and I like my Dollar Tree.
That's what I'm saying. Now it's $1.25. Come on, man.
Do you think I go to those other retail stores and get my plates there?
See,
no.
I go to
dollar store.
I have to go to Five Below.
And now they're $1.25.
I'm
pissed.
Yeah, I go to Five Below now. I mean, for $5, come on. It's at least below $5.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Inflation has a way to catch up to $5 now. But what we got there, Johnny? What's Glassnodes? What's everything else?
You ready for the screen share?
Yes. Go ahead and do the screen share, guys. I've came a little bit more prepared this time. Okay. I know that we were having some difficulties, but I just want to show some things on our Glassnode software program. For those of you who don't know, Glassnode is an on-chain data metrics software that pulls all of the information, all of the raw data from the blockchain and converts it into meaningful data that we can then use to see where we're at within a given market cycle. All right. And so Alex actually bought the full version for the FS team, so we get that included, but I just want to show you some things that I'm seeing here. So the first chart that I have open here is the net transfer volume to and from exchanges. This basically takes all of the net transfer, right, whether their Bitcoin is going on or to exchanges, and it shows when, like this. Okay, sorry. Eddie's just giving me some pointers on the microphone. All right, so as you can see from this, whenever we have these little green spikes here, that's a net positive transfer, meaning Bitcoin is taken off of cold storage or other devices and placed onto exchanges, right? And that's typically not a good sign. That typically means that there's more people gearing to sell. But what we're seeing here is that we had a huge, massive 60,000 Bitcoin be taken off exchanges back in July, and that hasn't gone anywhere. That was actually a record set. 60,000 Bitcoin, I think at the time, was around like $4 billion, which is ridiculous, okay? And it's sort of just kind of stabilized there. More net off exchanges, which is good, right? People are holding, guys. People are holding. One other thing I want to point out is the number of active addresses or entities. which means, how active are people on exchanges? How active are people buying and selling on these exchanges? As you can see right now, we're sort of at a similar level where we were back in October of 2020, right before we had the huge rally that went through not only Q4 but also Q1 and Q2 of this year. So we're at a similar level there. Net exchange position or net exchange net position change from exchanges, right? When you see it more red, that's when people are taking profits from old coins, right? And it normally signifies that we're in a healthy bull market. And what we're seeing here is that it's the same as, like I said, back from October 2020 till now. And these green areas here is when there's more of a distribution phase, right, where people are selling. So we want it red there. What are the things we got here? Illiquid supply. We are at an all-time high on illiquid supply. Nobody's budging right now.
Nobody's budging. I mean, especially if you got Bitcoin under 30K back in July. I mean, why would you budge?
Yeah.
Why would you be budging right now?
And then the MVRVZ score, which is basically like the ratio of profit, right? We're seeing that, or people taking profits, we're seeing that we're nowhere near that red zone at this top zone here, right? So, that normally signifies a top in the market, and we're obviously nowhere near that. We're in like the 2 range right now.
And basically, it just basically plays into what we've been talking about since, August, September. On-chain metrics pretty much looks better than ever before. If anything, probably the most bullish we've ever seen it. And all these, corrections and movements, it's just news driven right now. It's just news and media driven, either trying to get us to shake us out of our bags, whales to get in at a bit of a, lower price. So again, always think long term with what, what Alex says and what we try to promote here on this channel. Because in the long term, I mean, like Johnny said, what was it, a few live streams ago, like if you just take the overall average, right, just overall average of Bitcoin, it's like 100% return, right? And that's just Bitcoin itself. Now imagine all the other alts, ETH, probably doing double if not triple that. And then as you start to go down, the trickle down effect, it only just exponentially gets greater. So just think long term, use these, corrections and shifts just as a potential to either, dollar cost average in again, maybe take profits, cycle them in somewhere else, right? Well, we do cycle trading, out competing ETH and Bitcoin, and then increasing our position, the other fundamentally sound alts and whatnot. And long term we will win. And now really, like I was saying at the beginning, it's maybe taking on, more riskier plays, maybe getting outside of that $1 billion market cap, maybe going down to the 500 mil. For me, anything under 100 mil is juicy. That's where I feel really comfortable.
Whoa.
I don't like to get out of bed unless at least it's a 500% gain, right?
He's sounding like Alex Becker.
I know. I've been, hey, I got into Sandbox and, I got into some engine coin, keeping it safe. I'm sure I'll get into some of the more degen coins, right? The 3 a.m. ones. But
Red Light District.
Red Light District, baby. But yeah, so this is kind of now where we want to get a lot more aggressive, final leg, Q4, 5 minutes left on the shot clock or not on the shot clock, just on the clock in general. And, are you guys going to be on the bench right now, hoping to get in, or you guys are actually on the court and making the plays, right? So yeah, let's just, hunker down and really take it to the next level. But Armando, I know, also had a couple more news here, so I'm going to let him pop back in here, take my spot here. Johnny's got more macro for you guys.
Hey, Alex, man, it's Eddie with an I, all right?
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, guys, and just sort of, what we were touching about earlier, a lot of the big things that have to do with this market cycle, right, is because, derivatives markets have a huge play in it. We're seeing those mass liquidations, either if it's a short squeeze or a long squeeze. Those are taking a huge part within this market cycle that wasn't a factor back in the 2017 bull market. So that's pretty much the thing that's holding this market back in order, to really push forward. But yeah, those are really my thoughts on chain.
More with the macro news, right, guys? Because I know they brought it up on the inflation. I actually have an article here that kind of goes over it, right? So if you want to switch it over here in my tablet here, obviously what he said here. So Jerome Powell pretty much going over why he thinks that we should get rid of the word transitionary when we're speaking about our inflation rates, right, guys? So this is a shift in the messaging that Powell has been continuously speaking about for the last couple of months. As you can see here, this is kind of like a signal, right? So Powell, using the word transitionary, right? He's basically began saying that he was going to start tapering back help or economic stimulus, right?
Yeah, basically the tapering process, meaning that they're going to ease up on what's called quantitative easing, right? Which is a form of money printing. Now, when they say that, that doesn't mean that they're actually printing physical dollars. This is basically letting like commercial banks, be able to give out loans and then, buy bonds back from the government, right? And so with that process, that's how they're printing a lot of money, and that's how it's being injected into the system.
Exactly. So with this tapering, or what supposedly was supposed to begin with this tapering process, there would basically be a decrease, because right now they're buying about $120 billion worth of bonds every single month, as we saw here, as Johnny kind of explained. And now they're going to be bringing that down by about $15 billion a month, or that's what they want to start doing. And that kind of leapfrogs me into my next section, which is kind of the inflation rate, right, guys? So back on my tablet, we've seen here the steady rate of inflation from the beginning of the year. So we saw that this is what also is being reported, right? So this is just, I believe, on the low end. I believe inflation is much higher, kind of what they were saying, or what they were saying earlier, right? So I think inflation is maybe above 10, even 12%. And you can see that across multiple places, right? So I'm pretty sure when you went to go buy a turkey this year, that turkey was a lot more expensive than it was last year. And I'm sure that when you go and buy a Christmas tree later on this week or sometime this month, you're going to notice it's a lot more expensive than it was last year.
I know. My family just had to buy a bunch of chickens instead. You're going to do one full turkey.
So here they're reporting, obviously, as you can see, this massive increase. Right when the news about the pandemic hit, we saw the massive increase, from 1.7 in the span of 2 months, going up from 1.7% all the way up to 4.2%. Now in October, going up as high as 6.2%, right, guys? So that literally means that if you keep cash reserves, you had 6.2% less than you did at the beginning of the year. If that doesn't scare you, I don't know what will, right? You're literally just losing money having it sit there, right? And this goes over to one of my last articles that I kind of just want to go over. This is more of a deep dive. I believe you guys should look up this article. It's called Leapfrogging Legacy Banking to the Bitcoin Standard. It is a little bit of a long read, so I'm just going to go over some highlights of what I thought was kind of important from the article. But this is something that I think you guys should definitely go and read for yourself. It has a lot of good information. And it coincides with the book that we've always recommended to read, The Bitcoin Standard. If you haven't read it, probably definitely recommend to read it. A great book that gives you an understanding on a deeper philosophical level on what Bitcoin's trying to do, right? So in this article, they pretty much go over what the term leapfrogging is. And if you didn't know, leapfrogging is when the cost to produce one technology is too great for a population. So when a new, drastically cheaper technology is created, it's quickly adopted and the old tech is skipped. So they give a great example here using landlines and telephones, right? As we all know, telephones were very popular between the early 1900s and early 2000s. In that chart, if you go and read the article, it can show that, the adoption rate got to as high as probably 90% on landlines. And that was between, maybe a 90-year period. Cell phones came out in the late 1990s, or for mass adoption-wise purposes, it came out in the 1990s and has since taken over the communication aspect of the world, right? Most people in the world have a cell phone. They actually go over a statistic here later on in the article saying that over 65% of people now have access to technology, which is kind of going hand in hand with the fact that people are having easier access to this technology, right? Technology is getting cheaper. Android phones are on the verge of being able to be bought for, a minimum of like $100. And this is providing people with new access to different things that they never had access to, right? They can do research on things that maybe they've been fed lies to their entire life. It gives people the freedom to do more things. And this goes hand in hand with what they believe Bitcoin is doing, right? So they believe that money is kind of like the old tech, right? The old hand paper, the old gold standard, pretty much saying that Bitcoin is going to be leapfrogging all of this and going to become the new standard, right? So people are going to quickly realize that Bitcoin is better, or cryptocurrency is better in a way, right? This is kind of using Bitcoin as its way to explain itself, but it goes on a deep dive, guys. Like it took me probably like a good 25-minute read, just because I got home pretty late. I recommend doing it. It pretty much it gives you statistics on everything. Goes a really deep dive on why it believes Bitcoin is going to be leapfrogging it as a technology. Because you have to remember, right? We're still on the cusp of people learning what cryptocurrency is. It says here in the article, about 65% of the people around the world have access to a mobile phone. So think about it. That's still another 35% of people who don't have access to phones or internet or any forms of communication. Once we expand that number and once we pass what Alexander calls the chasm, right? It's a certain percentage of people around the world that are using cryptocurrency. Mass adoption just starts taking off, right? And that's when you're going to see the real influx of retail adoption into crypto. And that's when you're going to get these numbers that everyone talks about, right? A $10 trillion market cap minimum. That's where you get these other numbers like 100K Bitcoin or 150K Bitcoin. It all stems from the fact that it needs mass adoption. And this article gives you great insight as to why it believes mass adoption is pretty close.
That's awesome.
Hey guys, leave some questions, some altcoins maybe in the chat.
Yeah, I see some people in here. They're talking about Facebook and Oculus with the with Meta.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, with that, you know, there's a lot of decentralized options that are way better, and I think this is almost like their attempt to sort of get their foot in the door because they see like where it's all going, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And you know, if they don't try and get their market share, or if they use their giant conglomerate and also their customer basis right now, they're going to try and get ahead of that. But I mean, I think people, especially in our space, the people who are watching this channel know, like, when it comes to the metaverse, we should probably be choosing decentralized exchanges instead of giving all of our information to Facebook.
So funny enough, the CEO of Celsius was at the meeting yesterday. And he went on a long rant on this exact topic, right? So he literally, hopefully you can maybe find a video out there, but he pretty much goes on a rant stating how Meta is not the future of the metaverse, right? And how we should all show with our pockets and with our money that that's not what we want, right? When we talk about metaverse, when we talk about cryptocurrency, we talk about freedom, and Meta isn't that, right? Facebook has shown us that they don't have the customer's best intention when it comes to privacy, when it comes to consumer information. And he went on a pretty long...
It was that's why I just stormed back in here because I want to talk about that. But yeah, basically like these big companies like Facebook or Google, I mean anything big tech related, they're starting to realize that they're losing a grasp on controlling people, data, use cases, stuff like that. So that's why they are transitioning into the Web3 world, right? Because like, okay, well, these people are leaving for the Web3 world, because there's so much more potential. It's so much more, freedom per se. And obviously this is how they make their money, right?
Yep.
Off the data and off of, keeping these users on their platform. So, it's not to say that the metaverse is bad, right? It's more just, again, you don't want to be jumping in so quickly into what these companies are offering, right? Because it's so, it's enticing. Like, oh man, Facebook, I can have my friends and stuff like that, in this virtual reality world. But again, there is going to come a cost with that. So,
yeah, guys, one of the best facts or I guess statements that he made yesterday, Alex Mashinsky, I believe is his name, probably massacred his last name, but. One of the most fascinating things that I thought that he said was that there's not going to be just one metaverse, right? There's going to be multiple metaverses, and you're going to be able to pick and choose, just kind of like you get to pick and choose your favorite game, like COD, Battlefield, Halo. They all have different things that attract different people, right? So I'm sure you'll be able to find a metaverse that attracts you, like either if it's going to be Mana, if it's going to be Sandbox, if it's going to be Axie, all these different places that are going to be providing a metaverse. You're going to have the choice, and that's what boils down to, right? You having the choice to do what you want. And I don't believe Meta is going to be giving you a choice, right? You're going to remember, you're going to be in their metaverse and you're going to be restricted to their confines, their rules, what they believe is correct, which has been shown isn't the best.
Yeah. But again, it's still overall, it's a step in the right direction, right? Web3 is, Web3 still has a long, way to be fully rolled out and implemented and even just being used day to day. I mean, like,
we're like in the inception of the internet, guys, right? Remember when email was one of the first things, and instant messaging came out, and then all these other big applications came out. We're just on the cutting edge.
Exactly. still very early, but it was just really cool to see also somebody like Alex, because he's a very prominent figure in crypto in general. I mean, geez, like, the guy created Celsius, founded it, so it's nice to see that even somebody with that kind of, relevance, importance, and even of a following is kind of, being the big man, standing up to a lot of these, big tech companies and shining light on basically the other, not so pretty side, right? It's just nice to also know that, hey, we actually have people that are on our side, right? That are, with us and for us, whether it's Alex, Michael Saylor, and all these other, just like I said, big time investors in crypto that, they see that, hey, like, it's not as pretty as we'd like it to be in terms of transitioning to crypto, but they're willing to make a voice for it. So
yeah, guys. I just have a couple more news articles that I just want to go over. I mentioned on the last stream, obviously, it kind of came towards the later of the day. But when I found out, it was kind of right before we started the stream, but it was Jack Dorsey obviously leaving Twitter, right? So we've had a couple days to see the reaction from other people on Twitter around the news, how it had affected the stocks, which is obviously a pretty big thing. And we've obviously probably done, well, I hope you guys have done, because I know I have. I started doing my own research on the new CEO who's taking over, because as we know, Jack Dorsey was obviously a big proponent or a big person in terms of wanting to add crypto to Twitter, right? Or at least Bitcoin.
And just being decentralized too, like no censorship, which was obviously, ironic with what happened, earlier this year. However, like, it was definitely something that was way above his, decision. Like, when you're a public company and you have major investors and people that are calling the shots for you, at that point, you're just basically the boogeyman. Like, you're the one who, gets the...
Yeah, you're the face of the company.
Right. So, but when we did go to that Bitcoin convention, he was saying he's working on Blue Ocean, right? Basically decentralized Twitter. You can't suppress anybody and stuff like that. So, I think this is what's also going to allow him now to just go just dive into that.
Yep.
Because there's definitely going to be conflicts with Twitter and him trying to do this at the same time. So.
Yeah, if you want to just go switch to my screen one more time, I'll just go over some pretty prominent tweets, right? Pretty much David Pierce just pretty much saying Jack is not going to be forcing on Bitcoin, which he pretty much is going to be doing, right? He's going to be diving full into Bitcoin. He came out already and he said that he's going to be working on the DEX with Square, and it looks like that's what he's doing, right? He's literally just diving straight in. He came out in an interview beforehand and he was asked, if you weren't working with Twitter or with Square, what would you be doing? And it's a very famous answer. He's saying, I'd be working on Bitcoin. So things like that, guys, is really interesting. It kind of leads me to my next point. Like I mentioned, the new CEO, who is he, right? So is he good for Bitcoin? After doing a little bit of light research, you can see that he was the CTO. So he does he knows what he's doing, right? So if you don't know what a CTO is, it's Chief Technology Officer. Kind of giving you a small background. He has been in the company since 2011. He has a PhD in computer science. And says here he was the first distinguished engineer due to his work across revenue and consumer engineering. He is known for working with some crypto companies. He doesn't have a public stance. He's only had a few public comments about Bitcoin. But it does mention here he has worked with pretty much a company called Blue Sky, right? Which we all know is a decentralized protocol project. So it's safe to know he obviously knows what crypto is and that he wants to incorporate it into Twitter, and he knows that that's the future for Twitter, right? Here, it just gives you a little bit more information, pretty much saying what he's about.
Are we getting an echo? Ask him.
Are you guys getting an echo by any chance?
No, you're good. Keep going.
All right. Awesome. And like I said, what I thought was really interesting, if you guys have seen the video that we posted before on Mina, I mentioned this one person. Her name is Tess Ranierson. She is probably I guess you want to call her the crypto head, or the head person on Twitter for when it comes to crypto. And she's working hand in hand with Prague, as what it says here. And I mentioned before, she's on the board for the Mina protocol as well. And the fact that they're working hand in hand, and that other people in the crypto space have been working hand in hand with the new CEO, does give me a good idea of what his ideas or his intentions are for crypto, right? Yeah. So that being said, guys, this is a lot of really exciting news. You should do research on who he is, because this is a gigantic social media company that's only going to be integrating more crypto terms into it, like we just saw. They just leaked out that they're going to be adding tips for Ethereum. So keep your eye out for that.
How you guys doing? Just back a little bit, helping some video editors with some stuff. Got a lot of very, very interesting topics. Didn't have that much time to do some research in the morning today. Unfortunately, we're doing video shoots for some other stuff that's going down. You guys will know eventually, big project coming, January. You guys know the deal. I keep saying that, trying to hype it up, hype it up a little bit. All right, pop open the screen share. Let's go over some a little bit of news. I don't know if you talked about it, but I'll put my own 2 cents in there. So we're seeing, okay, I don't want to talk about specific headlines because at the end of the day, that's not why I look at these, right? What I'm looking at is their moves, right? So 1inch is still getting funding, right? Oh, you want to advertise me? Yeah, 1inch is still getting funding. Okay, Crypto.com is acquiring exchanges. FTX is opening trading for CryptoPunks, Bored Ape Yachts. Crypto.com bought the stadium. FTX bought the stadium. We have Elon Musk's brother launching, a DAO. I mean, it's just pretty much every company is moving in. To try to make this thing happen. I mean, we could even keep going. I mean, Jack Dorsey, you guys heard before, he is departing from Twitter just to go full-time into cryptocurrency. And he knows, as a very rich man that created Twitter, a very rich man, he doesn't want to put his time somewhere that's not going to reap on what he wants, like the ROI that he wants, right? Time's more finite than cash. Than money. Time is way more finite. And him making that move, stepping down from Twitter as the CEO to focus on cryptocurrency exchange, it's even, I would say, more of an indicator than him just saying publicly, I just bought $100 million worth of Bitcoin. He's putting his time. I want you guys to really understand this. I know a lot of people don't, because right now you're technically trading your time for hourly wage, right? But once you start moving up and getting raises at an aggressive rate, or whatever it's called, if you're in sales, getting commission, or if you make your own business, getting sales for your business, or people are buying your product, you'll start to realize that as you scale up, time becomes more valuable. Time becomes really valuable. And we can see a person that I'm sure values his time more than a lot of human beings, being that he has so much money, integrating full into crypto. And I know I'm kind of beating a dead horse, but I just want to be very clear. If you saw what I brought up, right, the multiple tabs, we see these companies still taking action in cryptocurrency space, which to me is a sentiment indicator for cryptocurrency continued bull run, which is obviously the big question that we're having right now with Bitcoin retesting. I don't even think it retested 60K, but it made some support. And the big question is: are the market gonna end now, or is the bull run gonna continue? I'm getting a lot of confirmations of what I'm saying in general. Also, if we come over here back to the tablet, I mean, this guy is just wilding out of control. So we have Bloomberg articles, The Economist. Can you guys stop printing more money? You're just gonna make things worse. Really, it's a no-brainer. I mean, look at the type of talking coming from world leaders in the actual business space, actual world leaders, right? A country, right? It's crazy. It's crazy how many people, and I really want to stress this. I want you guys to understand what's going on. Also, I wanted to just briefly talk about what's happening here with 4488 as the indicator for layer 2. So if you guys understand what happens, right, I'm looking for certain pieces of information that confirm my investment thesis or invalidate it. Okay, so I'm looking, you guys know what the deal is. I'm really bullish. So in general, I'm really bullish. I'm looking for an event to where I can put a lot of money. I think I'm still only 70 to 75% on the table when it comes to investing in cryptocurrencies and my cryptocurrency allowance, I guess you can call it. So I have 25% off the table, and I'm looking for an event to jump in. Now, if it was up to me, and if I had to make a decision now, I'd probably just buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, or one of the top layer ones and just call it a day, and then just wait till Bitcoin hits 100K. But I obviously want to get a little bit more strategic with that. So I'm looking for micro, I guess you could say, theses, or however you want it, narratives, micro narratives. All right. So again, layer 2, this is confirming this. I'm looking at the news. I'm looking at the metaverse. I'm trying to see, and I'm trying to explain the strategy side for you guys and how I move, because as a person that can't sit there all day, I can't sit there, 10 hours a day. There's no possible way. I have so many things revolving. So, but I still want to make money because just investing in cryptocurrency pays me more than my business. So if you guys don't know, as a CEO, I get paid a yearly salary, and the investments I make way more. So yeah, of course I want to trade accurately. I just can't be in it as deep as like some of my coaches. That's pretty much all they do, right? Notice how I make decisions off of logic, and it's kind of like a simple, elegant strategy. And you don't always want to look for things that confirm your bias, right? So I just want to be very clear. Like, obviously, a lot of the news we're talking about here is confirming it because it looks like, Alex is just trying to validate his thought process. But I look for, contrary data all the time. I'm always looking for ways, okay, maybe it's not layer 2 adoption, maybe it's something else. But after looking at it for a while, I think it's pretty much solidified, and I think people are now adopting the narrative of utility with Ethereum, and we have a video on this coming up. We actually talked about really, really deep dive into Ethereum, what's happening right now. But I think even if you don't have ETH, just using it as an indicator for the utility narrative is such a big confirmation, right? Bitcoin doesn't need to break all-time high for us to make money. I mean, we've been making, you saw it, we've been making money with the 4Xs and the 40Xs gala, right? Bitcoin's been treading from 67K to down to 58K consistently for the past how long? And, we've made more than 200% gains on a lot of trades in the same period of time. So I keep trying to stress to you guys over and over again, it's almost like it doesn't matter where the market goes as long as you understand these micro narratives, in the general innovation and what people are adopting in crypto, and you have their pulse to the crypto community, you can make some really smart investments. And I think the process of me trying to explain it to you in this deep way is probably the best way of explaining it. Let me see if I have any other news really quickly before we kind of conclude this live stream. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about is just in general, people are just jumping in. I mean, Elon Musk's brother with the DAO. I mean, we have crypto.com, all these big companies. So I think the trend will continue the same way it did with the internet itself when a lot of people started making the leap. And I think it would be political suicide. I think it would be reputational suicide. And I think it would be financial suicide if these big companies do not move on the blockchain. And I think it's becoming more and more apparent over time. I'm getting calls from some mentors that are way richer than me asking me, Alex, I don't want to get left behind. Your videos, what's happening now? I keep hearing credibility. So take it from someone that has a specific physical community. Take it from someone that has mentors, as well as people that are not in the crypto industry telling me that they're bullish on it, okay? I've seen this over and over again, but I appreciate you guys joining the live stream. Do me a favor, like the video really quickly. Take a second, like the video. We have a podcast where we talk about other money stuff, business stuff, entrepreneur stuff. This is alexanderlorenzo.buzzsprout.com. Follow me on Twitter. Today's the last day for the giveaway. We're giving away $200. And if you participate in multiple giveaways, well, guess what? You might win one. Why? Because we're going to do 1 or 2 a week. So pay attention for that. Claire, we got a marketing director. She's been handling that. She's amazing.
Crushing it.
Yeah, we're getting some new coaches in FS to deal with the recent demand of the discount and everything like that. And of course, we'll probably have future discounts. Of course, we kind of follow what everybody does. We got Christmas discount. I get it. But yeah, I mean, you can't put a discount on knowledge. That's pretty much it for this live stream. If you like the quality of this content, hit like. If you don't, leave some constructive criticism. Subscribe for more video updates. And like I always say,
if you don't get with it, you will get left behind.
Thanks for watching the live stream, guys. Catch you in the next one.